So what was your experience like as students building this brand new product? What was your experience like at CES? Who did you guys meet? What did you guys do? And just what were the overall outcomes?
One more plug real quick, because we have to recognize that the Blackstone
Blackstone Launchpad.
Blackstone Launchpad
Powered
by Techstars is at UCR, thanks to the Office of Technology Partnerships and the Research and Economic Development team and the Epic team. And so a big shout out for them, because they helped us and supported us, and they're the ones that actually nominated us as part of this program to go to CES to meet all these wonderful people. So thank you, my Timraz, and the Epic team, and everybody.
Yeah.
Cool. So CES.
Going back to the experience at CES.
Yeah.
So I mean, as students going there, especially, it was your first time, right? Yeah. So as our first time, both of us. I
shit my pants.
Yeah. Both of us being tech enthusiasts, going to a place that has, I think this year they hit 190,000 people there. So it's crazy. Going to Las Vegas, 190,000 people there, and it's not open to public. So it's like people that are in, industries and companies and all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really cool, because that's where the new emerging technologies are really coming from. So going there, obviously it was an amazing experience, and we were both super excited, but we were also a little bit nervous of like how this experience was going to be with us. But I mean, our experience, I mean, it was phenomenal. Like our going there, every single company you talked to there was open to having good conversations, and willing to kind of listen in on what you're presenting to them. So it's not just all about them. They were listening to other companies. We easily talked to like 100, probably 200 companies.
At least.
At least we talked to everybody we could, but out of those, we were kind of strategic on how we wanted to go about CES, and we wanted to find companies that either we could potentially partner with or that could actually use our technology. So that was the main kind of focus there, to get their interest. We did talk to, I think, about 20 to 25 companies that either wanted to integrate our technology or wanted to work with us to make it better. So that was a really cool thing. I'll let you highlight a couple of them, because I think you provide the kind of the technical.
That's right. I'm trying to remember all my field notes. I every day that we'd come back from CS, we were like dead, and I had to write. This is in the middle of our development period, and so I was writing about each of these days in my field notes. I have to send in for my dissertation. But yeah, and a number of them were pretty cool. One was a French gaming chair, Arcadio, and they have it's really cool. Their chair is a 7.1. Like they basically have 8 little individual subwoofers in their chair, and it decodes a 7.1 channel. So if something's happening in front of you, you feel it in the front of your seat. And if someone's behind you or something's sending to the surround channels, it taps in the back of your shoulders. And I thought that was pretty cool. And that we had a good conversation with them about how to come at it from like a entertainment perspective instead of just the engineering perspective. Right. They seem on the right track, and I think we have a good collaboration with them if that
ever goes through.
If that goes through.
Yep.
Then another cool one was the Subvo has a special bend sensor, which is like the super nerdiest thing that I can think of. It's like, wow, a sensor. Oh my God, a sensor. And I'm like freaking my brains out over here. I'm like, guys, your sensor's so dope. Do you understand what like, chill, man. It's just like a thing you stick on the diaphragm of the I don't know what you're getting all uppity about. Like, they exist otherwise. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. Like, it goes directly into a DSP, and like, oh my God, because of course that's like a huge kind of part of our. Sorry, it goes straight into the digital signal processing chip. So it's like the little computer that's telling it, telling the speaker driver how to respond and how to react and how to tune itself or fix itself. And so I'm tripping acid and balls out over this thing. And they're just like, all right, cool, chill, man. And then that was cool. And then I
stood to the side while he was doing all of this. So I was just like, you do your thing.
Yeah. And then there was another company like right across from them, which is really awkward, because I would like trip over balls over there, and then I'd turn around and be like, oh, your guys' thing is cool too. And they had a cardboard learning system that was basically like an Ableton push kind of thing, but like in physical buttons. So like actual arcade buttons that you could push in a 4x4 grid, and knobs and potentiometers and stuff like that. But then they had speakers like on the back of the thing. And I was like, well, this is awesome if you're like pointed at somebody and like shooting bass to their face. But how are you supposed to hear? Like, how is everybody else supposed to hear? And they're like, yeah, well, that's the problem. We only have speakers. Speakers only go a direction. We can't put them anywhere else. And I was like,
we got a solution for that.
Do we have something for you? And so then, we came back the later day. It may have happened that his name was also Ethan, that I thought that he was very compelling. But we said, hey, we could integrate our solution. They're making it out of cardboard, and cardboard is one of the best materials to use for tactile audio or excitation. And so I was like, yo, we can help you build this thing, flatten it down, and it'd be 5 times as loud with a much wider range and a response. So that's gonna be a real cool one, I think, to collaborate with. And then what else did we meet? There was a 3D ambisonic thing. It was so cool. It's a speaker bar that has facial tracking, kind of like how the PS
Xbox
the Kinect, right? Yeah, it's almost like a little Xbox Kinect right on top of it, and it tracks your head. So it basically will, if you turn your head, it will adjust it, so not physically move it, but it'll process the sound, so that way this is a little more delayed, so that way if you turn your head, it still arrives at the same amount of time. So if you turn your head the other way, it'll delay it on this side, so it'll hit you with the front and then also the surround signals separately.
I don't think
So you get 3D.
anybody who's just listening to this podcast can't see my face right
Yeah,
now.
I know,
That's
you're
pretty cool.
I know, you're like, No, but yeah, that one I really like because they're able to actually create real 3D audio. So you can actually physically hear water drops, you know, in the 360
from like a
sphere.
single soundbar.
Exactly. So that was super cool and something that we definitely want to
And I was like, yo,
integrate.
check this out. If you put this, instead of having speakers, because it was limited by speakers, right? You have to be facing it. And that's kind of the problem, though. But if you take the camera out, kind of make the separate thing, and instead of speakers, because essentially speakers are just where you put the sound to, and you can do so much shit. If we kind of delineated the idea of speakers having to be these things that push air, your world opens up, because now, you know, the different form factors and whatever can implement it. So I was like, yo, put this in a room and basically have a bunch of these exciter things like following the room, and your algorithm can then track somebody moving around the whole room, and then you can follow them and then be able to have 360 degree with unlimited accuracy of pinpointing where the sound can come from at any one moment.
That's so dope.
Yeah, I was like, this is cool. That's another collaboration that will hopefully, as like a demonstration of the nth degree of the technology, I think could be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.